So I know this seems a little bit random, the point that we're starting on this,
Yeah.
but I guess I'll start off with the basic introductions. Welcome to this, what was originally meant to be a full-on commentary, but because of circumstances, we decided to just truncate it to just a look at. Welcome to our two-parter look at of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 that Jordan actually helped me record.
Yes, hi, I'm here.
By the way, that man right there looks like he would be part of an unusual couple.
More on that later.
Perhaps set in the 40s or something. But anyway, so you and Jordy did this. So that's right. This had online co-op.
Yep.
Yes, it did. I will say, just to get into that right now, the way that the online co-op in Ultimate Alliance 3 is that it's actually kind of not dissimilar to what Luigi's Mansion 3 did, in that you do have to make a little bit of story progression before you're able to unlock the ability to do online co-op, but you don't have to go too far. It's like just a little into, like, the first chapter.
Oh, and that's why we're here.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was originally just going to be like a full-on commentary because, like, I do think there is enough fun things in this to warrant it. However, due to a lot of, like, circumstances, some out of our control, others are just an instance of bad timing, we just decided to kind of, like, truncate it into a look at. What you're looking at right now is technically the I call it Chapter 4, it might actually be Chapter 5, but this is basically the chapter involving the X-Men, and I chose this because, first off, it's my favorite section of the game, and second off, it's one of the sections I wanted to show off that had Jordan in it, because, again, this wouldn't really be possible without her helping me.
Yeah, thank you.
And James is here too.
Yeah, hello, James.
Hi.
And I...
Yeah,
Hi,
Matt, you
Matthew.
were here. Yeah, we heard you as well. So while more Ultrons, I guess, show up.
Actually,
No, those are Sentinels.
Sentinels missed.
yeah, I was gonna say, those are not Ultrons, those are Sentinels.
I forgot.
The chapter we just finished was dealing with Ultrons.
Ah! I get it.
I guess.
X marks the spot is what he was. Yeah, look at this. We're here.
Oh, the title.
Oh, right,
Programmed
right,
to
right.
hate them.
That voice does not work for the Sentinels.
That was that the MCP from Kingdom Hearts 2?
I don't know, but basically just... I do want to at least talk about story real quick, since this is just kind of like right into it. So the basic story about Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is, it basically takes the general gist of the Infinity Stone story, but it kind of takes a bit of liberties and just is kind of its own thing. Basically, after a confrontation between some of Thanos' henchmen,
Black Order.
yeah, the Black Order. After a confrontation with the Black Order, Star-Lord pretty much uses one of the Infinity Stones to pretty much send all the stones across the universe to make sure the Black Order doesn't get them. And
That's
now
fair.
the Guardians are teaming up with pretty much all the Marvel superheroes in order to find the Infinity Stones before Thanos does.
And once
Okay.
again, Peter Quill has shown how he is both one of the smartest and dumbest men in the universe.
But either way, it looks like I get it. So they just did to buy themselves time. So I'm assuming Jordy is the player marked by the blue circle.
Yes.
Okay. So
Hi, Steve.
Oh yeah, it's default. Like, there's
yeah.
there's a lot of veterans in this game, and a lot of them I really welcome. Like, veterans as in, like, people that have voiced their particular characters before. Like, for example, a handful of the X-Men characters were reprising their roles from Wolverine and the X-Men. A good chunk of the Guardians reprised their roles from, of all things, the Telltale Guardians game.
To be
Really?
fair, I think the actors in the Telltale Guardians are the same people who did the TV show Guardians.
No, they're not. It's a different cast.
are you
Like,
sure?
I think... Yeah, it is. Like, the only actor from the Guardians show that is here is Vanessa Marshall as Gamora. The rest of them are from the
Scary.
Telltale series.
okay, so
okay.
in terms of the combat, I think I see what's happening is that the purple bar is like a stamina, and once you deal enough damage
Yeah.
to that staggers them.
Yeah, basically. So, just to go on to the gameplay of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and to an extent the Ultimate Alliance series in general, you control a team of 4 Marvel characters. You get to, like, pick whichever ones you want, and pretty much explore, like, this very destructible field, and pretty much fight enemies, solve puzzles and whatnot. And certain enemies, like the Sentinels, have some interesting gimmicks. Like, for example, when you defeat those Sentinels, they'll have a core that pops out. You can actually use that core to pretty much damage other Sentinels and make them easier to take out.
Yep.
Okay.
Very essential.
And nice.
By the way, can I
Almost-
just say, I do love Sentinels and all that. I kind of hope that, so, spoiler for the absolutely terrible Avengers. Is that Liam O'Brien?
Yeah, it is. Like I said, a good handful of the actors from Wolverine and the X-Men reprised their roles for this.
I forgot that Liam was in that.
Who dis?
Anyways, that is Psylocke.
That's Psylocke.
Oh.
Anyway,
Also, for those wondering why this game may look prettier than your average Marvel game, the game in general was developed by Team Ninja of all people.
Yeah,
Oh,
and that is one
okay.
thing that I'll definitely give this game. Like, I know a lot of people, like, namely people that, like, grew up with the Ultimate Alliance series, they have their flack with this game.
Ms.
Some of them
Marvel!
I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, Miss Marvel. Yeah, Miss Marvel's one of the newer characters they added for Ultimate Alliance 3. Like, Ultimate Alliance 3 actually added a handful of new characters, but as I was about to say, like, I know there's some people that give this game flack for certain things. One thing that I will definitely give this, like, above the other two games, and I don't see a whole lot of people disagree with me on, this is hands down the best looking of the Ultimate Alliance games. Like, I love, like, the way that the visuals look in this, and just the presentation overall is a lot better than what the other two games had.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, heck, it makes the original Ultimate Alliance look like a freaking, first-year college project.
Right. Well, like here, like it makes it look all comic booky. Continue.
I do think that the first Ultimate Alliance at least has some nice visuals. Like, I do like how Asgard look in that game.
Yeah, it's like, well, my thing with the first Ultimate Alliance is that, like, I like how the environments are. And my issue with that is more so with, like, the characters, in that, like, basically, the models were designed so that they would look good from a distance. Which doesn't look good when you have cutscenes where you have them face front in front of the camera.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That was a flaw. Oh, yeah.
Anyway, can I just mention the Sentinels one more time from earlier?
You mentioned that you wish that they did something.
So, in the Avengers video game, the terrible one, sadly, at the very end, they fight... People thought that they fought a Sentinel. They actually fought this one Kree robot that I think the Sentinels are partially based off of. I kind of hope that we get that in the MCU.
Well, we'll see.
I'd be down for that. I mean, especially since they introduced the Kree already.
Yeah.
But not the Kree robots.
So, James, what has your experience been with? Because I guess since we're doing this to look at, I may as well just cover all of them. What have been your experiences, or from what you've seen with Ultimate Alliance, just the series?
I've always heard of the series in passing, and I do remember giving a brief chance with the original game, like, years ago. But other than that, I just never had much of a care for the series in general.
That is fair, like...
I will say, for what it's worth, it is kind of amusing to me that the third game, I mean, first of all, it came out, like, well after the second game was ever a thing, so, like, its return in general was definitely a surprise. And secondly, the fact that, unless it's changed later, this is a Nintendo exclusive, Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah, at the time of recording, this is still Nintendo exclusive.
Which
And
I
honestly-
will definitely say this much. The fact that it's currently Nintendo exclusive, and probably will be for as far as I'm aware, it sort of baffles and sort of bums me out that they didn't use that opportunity to maybe flesh out on a scrap concept for the first game and bring in some Nintendo characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been nice. But honestly, I can kind of understand, like, the slight indifference to the series overall, James, because that was just us changing characters.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
Nick Fury is played by, of all people, Barrett from the Final Fantasy VII remake.
I
Nice,
always,
yeah.
part of me is actually, I'm sorry, I gotta say, part of me is actually really curious if there is any, just gonna get out there quickly. I wonder if there's any in-universe explanation for Nick Fury's very, very sudden change in appearance, considering how he looked in the first Ultimate Alliance.
In terms of connecting between this and the first two games, the third game kind of is self-contained in its own little universe. Like, it is
Okay.
not really concerned with continuing off what the first two games
To be
did.
fair, the first two games kinda didn't connect either. The first...
Wait a minute.
Oh, wait! What's that noise?
Someone's making tacos.
Oh, hello! Can I have one? Oh, no. A quesadilla, please, with cheese and bacon and ranch sour cream.
Better than that than the chimichangas.
Let's leave him to his little, what was the...
Oop.
Uh-oh.
Chimichangas?
Whoa!
Chimichanga
Good thing we let that
section.
go. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's go meet a friend at a ship. Hello!
Beast.
Good grief, he's naked.
No, he has shorts.
You know, he's only half naked. It's his nature.
You could
Yeah.
put on a shirt or... Okay, never mind.
Well, he is a beast. He's hairy.
That's kind of like what he's always looked like in the comics, so it doesn't bother me that much. But anyway, just going back to what James was saying earlier, I can kind of understand his indifference or apprehensiveness towards the series because, like, I
Yeah,
love
it
the
just
first
kind of has
Ultimate.
one.
He explains that he got it from an informant from the Hellfire Club.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah,
But anyway, it's
continue.
like, I can kind of understand James's like apprehension or disinterest in the Ultimate Alliance series because like I love the first game to death. The second game's just kind of but I really like the third one. It's like I love the Ultimate Alliance series. They are very much an acquired taste kind of series, so I don't blame him for not getting into it as easily as I could.
Not to mention, whether you're a bona fide Marvel fan or not, this is the kind of game where, Nightcrawler, would you mind not shoving that thing through my abdomen?
Yeah, it's just Maul's clipping, but you were saying?
Anyway, for what it's worth, you really do need to play this with friends to get the most out of it.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah, I would say so.
Because at the end of the day, it's... Would it be wrong to call it kind of like... It's just like... It's less beat 'em up and more like Diablo, where you need to like level up RPG, build up, do certain quests. Oh god damn
Can
it!
I just say, fighting
Yeah.
the final boss in the first game was fucking hell on my own.
Oh yeah, it was.
Agreed.
It's like honestly, I would say like the Ultimate Alliance series is like it's completely possible to beat them on your own, but you are right in
not
that
the
like
purple Fabergé egg.
Not the big guy.
Yeah, but I was about to say it's like I can kind of don't blame you on that, Logan, because like Ultimate Alliance 1 and 3, it's certainly possible to beat it with just one person, but a lot of the fun is having like a friend alongside you to join in on the madness. And speaking of friends, just because I want to give her some.
Oh, come on! I was hoping that it turned into Nimrod. Damn it!
No.
nope.
But anyway, just to give her some involvement, because again, she did help me with this, it's only fair. Jordan, what have your thoughts been on the Ultimate Alliance series, whether it be your experience with 3, or just what you think of just the series in general?
Well, I will say this: I've only played the third one, just cause I guess at the time I wasn't as much of a Marvel fan or much into Marvel-related video games, except for a few. But this one, I really enjoyed, despite a few things that kind of. Okay, I'll just say it here, full disclosure. The reason why we kind of shrunk this down into a look at is because we got stuck on one of the bosses that's supposed to happen later on. And even with just us two, he was so hard to beat at the level that we were at.
Yeah.
But the rest,
that's
the rest I'll admit was bad timing because of my busy schedule.
Yeah, and that is like the one genuine complaint that I have with this game is that like for the most part I think the difficulty scaling is fair, but this game does have its share of particularly obnoxious spikes, like that boss fight that we mentioned, a Dormammu possessed Doctor Strange. For those wondering, that is probably one of the most obnoxious of the difficulty spikes the game has.
Does the game prompt or encourage grinding? Like doing a mission over and over again to level
They
up
have
all your
gauntlets
characters?
that help with grinding, yes.
Well,
But-
which I will say, like, the gauntlets themselves are pretty fun because they actually do offer some interesting challenges and a couple of, like, character-specific runs and whatnot. So it's not like it's complete bore, but it is an instance where it's like, it does help if you do want the edge on certain spots. But like I said, like, I think that boss and the majority of the Wakanda chapter are, like, the only really obnoxious spikes that I can think of. The rest of the game is fairly balanced otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like I was saying, aside from that, I really do love this game. Mostly because of the characters that they have, and it's a really good selection of them. And I really like some of the story levels, like this one, for example, because actually, while I was in college, Steve and I did watch some of Wolverine and the X-Men, and I found it pretty enjoyable. So this was like a nostalgia run for me. But also, oh, hello. Way to crash the party, dude!
I don't think he cares.
Dead on the left. Oh, Misty. Oh, she looks different when doesn't have like the
Hey,
like
bitches.
weird flowery petal scale skin.
Flowery, oh yeah, that's basically how she looks in the comics versus the all-nude look she has in the Fox movies.
Gotcha.
Can we
Yeah, that's
actually
true.
get proper Mystique in the MCU, please?
Maybe.
We'll see.
Give her some goddamn pants.
It's like depends on if the age-appropriate ratings approve of that.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah,
No, you first.
I will say right now, like, even though the X-Men chapter is one of my favorite chapters in the game, I will warn for people that are going to go through this, that this chapter in particular does have a few thou must lose situations, like scripted fights, and this one that we're about to go to is one of them.
Yeah.
You know,
But,
in hindsight, making our suits out of a metallic alloy against somebody who can manipulate metal may not have been the best. And also having a guy whose skin is made entirely of steel may not have been the best choice to go up against.
No.
I do love that
Ashy.
Oh, hey, Ashy. I do love that they do call that out in some incarnations. Like, I don't know if it was either one of the movies. It might have been one of the movies where like Magneto
Is that
does that
Tom
and he
Kane?
goes. Yeah, it's Tom Kane. Like I said, a lot of the actors from Wolverine and the X-Men reprise their roles.
I don't
Anyway,
know all the actors from that show.
It's alright. But continue
okay.
hype about a movie.
Yeah, I think it was one of the movies where he said, like, I think it was when he was manipulating Wolverine's skeleton. It's like, I thought you people lived in a school.
It's like, come on, like you think they would have figured it out by now. Okay,
We lived in a school. No, we're completely remote right now.
Yeah.
Jokes aside, let me just finish my thoughts and say that I love a lot of these characters, including a few of the X-Men like Nightcrawler over here, and also Venom, my boy, voiced by Steve Bloom, by the way, who actually, he did voice him in another game like years ago.
In the first Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah, and it wasn't as great, but then I hear it in this one, and I'm like, ooh, it's actually not too bad now. Like, it's an improvement. And there's
Yeah,
going to
it's
be
like-
another character that we'll see momentarily.
Like, honestly, like, the big difference is that, like, I think the way he acted out Venom is the same as in Ultimate Alliance 1. The difference is that, like, in Ultimate Alliance 1, they didn't really give him a filter. Whereas in this game, he does.
Yeah. And we gotta run now, because we're being chased by a strong madman.
Oh, yeah, this is also, like, one of the things that the game does sometimes, with a little bit of variety. Now we're pretty much... You like those boulder sections in Crash Bandicoot? Well, how about a boulder that can actually punch you?
Curse is not
And I get
98%.
stuck!
Not 98% muscular, man.
You know, I feel like this would be far
That's
more believable
Kingpin,
if
not this
Juggernaut,
guy.
you know, was like a few feet taller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. It's not good day for this.
Hello, Nolan.
I was about to say, you say that as if he cares, Logan.
So how much of the game has this sort of like humor twisted, or is this the only like... Wow.
Honestly, I'd say a lot of the game is...
Oh, no! Not the taco!
This was a sudden shift.
Uh-oh.
Well, he certainly pushed someone's buttons.
Someone's about to get a kick square in the chimichangas.
Yeah, it really does just sound like slightly more unhinged Nathan Drake.
Literally.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I don't think anyone's really that upset about, because this is one of Nolan's more defining roles.
Yeah, and I was about to say, beyond Ryan Reynolds aside, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Destroy you!
Off he goes. I'll have to have some fun. But meanwhile, okay, so that's gonna be between the two of them.
Yeah, we'll let them clean up the mess later.
Yeah.
What happened? So that shield there, is that like, so that can be like a checkpoint to swap out characters at any time?
Yeah, basically, the shield insignias are basically like checkpoints. Only if you're wondering why we're stalling, we're basically just playing out what we're gonna do
Can
there.
I just...
But just a second, Matt. With the shield checkpoints, it's like they let you save and load your game, let you swap out your characters, and also like upgrade them if you should want. Like, and then there's also these right here throughout the maps. You'll see these chests that have these particular like shields around them. They can only be broken by particular character combos. Like for example that. Or it would be if we would actually do it right.
There we go. We got it.
Yeah, okay, I'll ask my question later. Matt, you were saying something now?
I just noticed that Deadpool legitimately it wasn't there just as a joke. He apparently was making Taco Tuesday for all the X-Men.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Beast was looking so forward to it.
Yeah,
it's
he's
like
like,
he
oh, is it
mentioned
Taco
himself.
Tuesday again?
Is it Taco Night?
Yeah. Wade's relations with the X-Men are yes.
Especially Logan. Not you, Logan, the other Logan.
Nah, the other Logan, yeah. Continue, Matt.
Even though a lot of people really like Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool and all of that, and he acts a good Deadpool, the Deadpool in the comics and all that is like, much different. To the point where one thing I don't like about the movie is him going like, man, I hate the X-Men. Those guys are idiots. In the comics and this game, he is fucking obsessed with joining the X-Men.
So is
Yeah.
he? So being honest with me now, Matt, is he to the X-Men what Miss Marvel is to the Avengers?
No, because Ms. Marvel is... She doesn't bother them about being part of the Avengers. She goes like, that'd be great, but I'm not going to constantly bother you guys. However, I am a huge fan of you guys. I will geek out. Deadpool is not really a fan of any of the X-Men. He's more just obsessed about getting onto the team.
Yeah.
Notoriety. So, okay, I'll also just kind of toss this out there before the part ends. James, what would you say are some of your favorite Marvel games that you've, like, tried out yourself?
That's a good question. I mean, nothing will ever be quite as classic to me as, good to see you recovered from that little fling earlier. But, what was I about to say? Well, shit. But, for me...
Don't worry, Peter's gonna help.
Nice.
Hey. Yay!
Alright, go Peter.
Giant CG fight!
But yeah, but continue to continue there, James.
But yeah, no, like, for me, it doesn't really go too much further beyond the classics like Marvel vs. Capcom, and I'm trying to remember, like, if there were any other in particular that I really liked, but I know I used to have a bit of a history with Marvel Imperfects when that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, maybe the X-Men arcade game, I'd have to get back to you on that.
Oh yeah, I remember we had. Oh yeah, I remember we had fun with the Punisher game.
Oh, the Punisher was great. That was a great arcade game, and I know it would never happen, but say if there was ever any additional DLC for that upcoming Capcom Arcade Stadium, they should just consider like contacting Marvel and just have them post their stuff on there.
But it's some good. Yeah, it's a good
be
beat 'em
nice.
ups.
Maybe add an Alien vs Predator for good measure.
I know.
But
Anyway,
yeah, that's
yes.
something that we... Yeah, no, that's all fine. But yeah, that's not the end of this, as you can probably tell. Join us next time where we wrap up this particular chapter, as well as talk about a few other things involved in the game that I forgot I should talk about. But again, we'll save that for next time.
Till next time, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.